Hello, Kimono, Dapper Vine, Gray. Welcome, everybody. Last Jippy before you leave forever. I'm glad you got it, Kimono. I miss your 29-day streak too, Gray. You deserve it. Big sad. But yes, you made it. Could you guys let me know how the audio is? Can you hear me? Can you hear game? Is anything too loud, too quiet? I think it sounds good. Let's go. Alright. How far can we get today? The guards in the security room were on edge too. Once the gas was flowing, everything would come to an end, but the guards knew their enemy wouldn't just sit and wait for that to happen. They'd come rushing in regardless of the counterattack they'd face. Although the guards would still have the upper hand, it'd be a point-blank gunfight. They wouldn't come out of it unscathed. Therefore, as the deadline approached, their tension increased. The guards never even considered that the door they opened would be shut again. They fired at the door, leaving many small holes in it. After that, it all went quiet. What were they thinking? There was nowhere to hide. The gas was about to be released. Why did they close the door? For what reason did they do that? That was when a loud explosion punched a hole in the door the size of a fist. Not only the door, but the wall in the security room had a similar hole. Is it a magnum? No! That's a slug! A calm voice echoed from the other side of the door. Correct. This weapon isn't meant to be fired at a person. You know how powerful it is, right? Crap! The power of a slug bullet is limited to extremely close-range battles, but it is also incredibly powerful. After all, it's fired from a shotgun, but it doesn't scatter. A shotgun is meant to fire scatter shots, but it can be used to fire only one huge, incredibly powerful bullet. That's the slug. It's usually used for hunting. It's used to shoot at animals, not humans. If it was to be used on a human, their arms and legs would be shattered, and nothing would be left of the head. It shouldn't even be called a bullet. It should be called a cannon. It would easily pierce through the door, the desk they were using as a barricade, and any guards hiding behind the desk before slamming into the wall. The guards understood very well just how powerful it was. The kind of guns they had shot out many small bullets. Therefore, they didn't work as well through a door. But their enemies didn't care about the door at all. Their weapon could easily pierce through anything. Hiding behind a desk didn't mean a thing. You understand how powerful my weapon is, correct? If you don't want to die, please turn the alarm off. Calm down. The gas will be released any minute. We have to hang in there for just a few more seconds. Don't you realize your guts will be scattered all over the floor before that happens? Kasai's voice was extremely intimidating. The only one who truly understood the power of the shotgun could talk that way. We don't have time. I'll give you 5 seconds. If that alarm isn't turned off in 5 seconds, well, be prepared for that. Hey, what do we do? There are about 60 seconds left before the gas is released. Calm down. He's nervous too. Don't let him take control of the situation. That was when a deep voice rang out, reverberating through the pit of their stomachs. Hey, I've been nice up until now, but didn't you hear what I just said? It must have been coming from the same person, but it had changed so much so quickly. I, Tatsuyoshi Kasai, am giving you the chance to live. Aren't you a bit grateful for that, you pieces of crap? You don't think I'm serious, do you? Huh? Answer me! A roar and an explosion sounded at the same time. The upper half of the door disappeared. Numerous lead balls bounced around in the room, breaking the lights and ricocheting off the walls. Shattered glass fell onto the floor. The shotgun had turned the security room into hell. The hurricane of lead balls blew violently through the room as it shattered, scattered, and destroyed everything. The guards could only cover their heads and pray. They prayed the lead balls wouldn't hit them and endured the falling glass. Before they had a chance to recover, Kasai jumped in through what was left of the door and kicked the desk aside. He stepped onto one guard's head and yelled at the others. "Alright, who wants to be minced first, huh? Is it you? What happened to that attitude just now, huh?" "No! I give up! Don't shoot!" "Don't waste my time! Do you want to die? I've dealt with far more dead people than any of you!" Sorry! Please don't kill me!" They dropped their guns voluntarily and got on the floor with their hands on their heads. Even Shion couldn't believe what just happened. There were several of them, and all had been amply armed. He acts like that's a flex, I know. I guess it is for him. He's like a Yakuza member, isn't he? Yakuza? Mafia? I don't know which one. I think it's Yakuza. Kasai had a weapon too, but it was his presence that defeated them. Even the mountain dogs couldn't equal what Kasai once had to go through. "What the heck are you taking a nap for? Do you want to inhale the gas? I can easily rip your masks off, you know. Turn off the alarm already." Okay, I'll turn it off, I will. Don't shoot! Don't shoot! One of the guards got up in a hurry and switched the alarm off. Kasai stood there calmly, but they were only seconds away from the gas releasing. Shion and Akasaka came to their senses and quickly moved into the room to help Kasai subdue the guards. "Kasai, you're... Eep." "I never wanted to do something like that again, but it was an emergency. Please forget about it." That was the Kasai Shion knew. But in the end, Kasai hadn't killed anyone. Shion remembered Kasai telling her how terrifying shotguns were in the basement of the Sonozaki residence. That was Shotgun Tatsu, whom all the people in Shishibone were so afraid of. "Let's hurry. The alarm has gone off already. We can't stay for long." "You're right. Let's hurry." Akasaka and Kasai pulled out the guards' handcuffs and restrained them. "Satoshi-kun! Where is Satoshi-kun?" Now that the security room was under their control, Shion realized there was nothing keeping her from seeing Satoshi. She was getting anxious. His suit coat is so ill-fitted, yikes. That's so tough. Irie had shown her the map. He must be down here, she thought. Shion had already started to run. "I'm going too. We have to evacuate Satoshi-kun and Tomitake-san." "Alright, go ahead." It is very baggy on him now that you mention it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Akasaka felt a chill running down his spine. Irie said there were 6 security guards. Shion wasn't paying attention to anything else. She was only thinking about her reunion with Satoshi. And she still can't hear in her left ear. To make things worse, the security guard is waiting on the left side of Shion. Shion had to regret letting her guard down just a bit too early. The mountain dog jumped out and grabbed Shion. He choked her neck with his thick arm. There was no way Shion could get out of the situation alone. Irie saw what had happened. Fortunately, their backs were turned towards him. Here was Irie's chance to attack the enemy. But today, Irie had lost a lot of confidence in himself. He felt he hadn't done anything right all day. Fighting wasn't his expertise, so there really wasn't anything he could have done, but he was disappointed in himself for not being able to help just the same. But in that moment, he was the only one who could do anything. If possible, he wanted to go get Kasai or Akasaka. They were both very reliable. Could be disappointed in yourself, Irie, you suck. He really hasn't done anything good all throughout, this day. They were both very reliable. They could take out this man in an instant. But there was no time for that. Only in this moment was his back facing Irie. And if Irie didn't do anything, the dog was sure to take Shion hostage, creating a deadlock. Enemy backup could arrive at any moment, so being in a deadlock would mean death. Therefore, Irie couldn't depend on anyone else. He had to resolve the situation himself. He only had one chance. Once the unit member turned around, the deadlock would begin. But was there even a way for Irie to knock him down in one shot? No. He had to. He must. There had to be something that only Irie could do. Irie took a mechanical pencil out of his pocket. It was probably the strongest weapon he had. Ah! lobotomize him. Maybe he's gonna give him lead poisoning. Ow! Dang it, director! Ow! Irie stabbed the man's neck with his mechanical pencil, but it only scratched him a little. What was he thinking? The man drew his gun, pressed it to Shion's head, and created a stalemate, just as Irie predicted. Sorry. I was only thinking about Satoshi-kun. If he go for the eye, lobotomize him. Lame doctor going for the neck. He thought he had like a syringe or something. He was gonna inject him, but it's just pencil lead. Big sad. Shion's eyes were filled with tears. Okay, director. Could you please tell your friends to get rid of their weapons? Going by that huge sound before, one of you has a pretty big gun. I don't want to get shot with that. Come on, Irie. Remember Kasai-san from earlier? You could do it! Don't make me laugh. Do you really think you could deal with me? Here, in this basement of the Irie Institute? What? Don't assume this is a regular mechanical pencil. This is actually a syringe that Takano-san developed. Do you want to know what was in it? Do I need to explain? What? If a regular person had said that, it wouldn't have worked. But Irie was wearing his white coat, and the basement was his territory. What he just said sounded very believable. I can't believe this is where they're going with this. There's no way Mountain Dog is gonna be like, oh no, he just injected me with the virus. There's no way. He's so pathetic. Oh, this is so sad. He wanted to believe that Irie was lying, but he started to feel an itch on the back of his neck. H178 is a drug Takano-san created. It's the masterpiece of the 170 series. There's no treatment, and symptoms such as confusion, delusion, headaches, runny nose, stuffy nose, constipation, and many other things will start within a few minutes. In the end, you will scratch your butt so hard you'll bleed to death. The only cure is to take the antidote within 1 minute. That's a lie! 30 seconds have passed. It's going through your heart by now, and soon it'll be everywhere in your body. Don't your lymph nodes itch yet? Do you snore or fart when you sleep? Shion could only watch this pathetic act in silence. But for the Mountain Dog, who worked at such a shady research center, what Irie said sounded totally believable. Crap! Okay, I give up. Hurry and give me the shot! Is that the correct way to ask someone to do something for you? Okay, I give up, sir. Please give me the shot. No, that's not good enough. That's not how you talk to your master. I'll tell you one more time. Are you ready? I have to inject you in the butt. Get on your hands and knees with your pants down. After that, stick your butt up by putting your shoulders to the floor. Bite your right thumbnail and turn around. There you go. I don't like Irie. He's a freak. Sir. Shake your butt and beg me to give you the antidote. What, you can't do that? That's sad. Ever since ancient times, maids vowed complete loyalty to their masters. Their selfless devotion has created the virtues and culture we enjoy today. Dr. Freaky is right. Shion is right here. He's never going to live this down. But look at what is happening to that wonderful Japan nowadays. Youngsters have forgotten the spirit of maids, tanned their skin, started wearing loose socks, and flashy Hawaiian fashion. What happened to Japanese women of the good old days? Be careful of excessive tanning and take care of your skin to keep it smooth. Socks must be knee-high, of course, but garter belts are wonderful too. But once in a while, high socks are okay too, and cultivate the spirit of a maid. What is he yapping about? This guy is a man! Full-grown man! What do you want from him? Maybe we don't want to know, actually. Don't answer that. Come to think, Japan has forgotten all about its wasabi aesthetic in maids. Cough him for real. This man needs to be arrested. The low birth rate and the aged society are a result of that. The population continues to age, and it's only a matter of time before Moe Media accommodates to that. Up until now, older women's series were treated as a niche in porn shops, but eventually they'll occupy a huge corner. Middle-aged women and maids are just like different kinds of toilet detergent. They're dangerous to mix. If you mix them together, then you get housekeepers, not maids. And housekeepers will be the series of videos people watch. That would mean the extinction of maids. When that time comes, the moon will shatter into a sad rain upon the world, and an asteroid belt will cover the earth. That is the Judgment Day prophesied in Revelation. When the great maid headbands cover the entire world, the true king of maids will revive. Listen carefully. You stand before the king of maids. Kneel! Take back the stone from that kid. What is this? What if Jesus is a maid? I don't know. Here are the magic words. Lite latoparta maid. Whoa! What the heck did that say? Something in heaven, what was that? That is definitely going in the thumbnail. 100%. Maid in heaven, oh my gosh. Are you okay, Shion-chan? Yes, thank you. Coach? Akasaka-san and Kasai are here. They got him. What? But I'm not finished teaching him about maids yet. That's his JoJo stan, I'm dead. You can continue later, Doctor. Why are they not commenting on this? Did they not... Maid in Heaven is an actual... Oh my gosh, it was meant to be. Satoshi-kun! There really was nobody left to stop her. Shion ran down the hallway at full speed. It was right there. There was a huge window in front of Shion that allowed her to look inside. It's one of the final bosses. I hate this game. It's too powerful. This game is so powerful for no reason. Shion threw herself at the window. Satoshi was there, lying on the bed. He was sleeping with an IV connected to his arm. There were some wires attached to his forehead and chest to observe his brain waves. The waves of light displayed on the machine they connected to prove that The waves of light displayed on the machine they connected to proved that he was at least still alive. But he might be sleeping very deeply. His face was pale, and he looked like there was barely any life left in him. He is alive, right? Satoshi-kun is alive, isn't he? Calm down. Dr. Irie, hurry. Irie brought in a stretcher to load Satoshi onto. Kasai opened it up. Hurry! Put Satoshi-kun on it! Shion-san, before we take him out of here, there's one thing I want you to promise me. Irie gave Shion a condition. What is he saying now? Shion angrily thought. I'm going to move him onto the stretcher, but don't try to wake him up. Do you understand? I want you to promise me. Why? Why can't I wake him up? That was the first thing Shion wanted to do. She wanted to tell him personally that he was free. But Irie was telling her that she couldn't do that. I know it's hard. I'm going to tell you the truth quickly. Satoshi-kun suffered a serious emotional damage on that day. Fortunately, he's alive, but he can't tell his friends from his enemies or truth from fiction. He's suffering from a serious delusion of persecution and fear. To escape from that, he would attack anyone. In fact, one of the clinic's staff was seriously injured last year, so much that she had to go through facial reconstruction surgery. The Higurashi theme? Is this the end? He would even attack you. Shion finally noticed it. While Satoshi was covered in a blanket on the bed, there were 2 belts over that blanket, holding him down on the bed. From that, he also had leather straps around his arms. He was restrained to the bed. The belts had some marks on them. But is he ever going to get better? The silence that followed was cruel. Irie wanted to tell her that he would be cured, but he was a doctor. He knew he shouldn't say anything irresponsible. After everything he just said? I can't believe this man. And so that was why he couldn't say anything. Bro's already a bad doctor, exactly. What is it? What the heck is it? Are you saying Satoshi-kun will never say anything anymore? He'll never rub my head ever again? Why? Why? Shion cried as she pounded on the glass. Stop. If you really care about him, please don't wake him up. That's what he wants too. If you wake him up, he will likely hurt you. He doesn't want you to see him like that either. So please, try to understand. Why? Shion slid down the window and hit the floor, crying uncontrollably. She scratched at the floor. The sad reunion and her anger made her claw at the tiles. If Satoshi's smile was there under the floor, Shion would scratch until all of her nails were gone. But Satoshi wasn't under the floor. He was right there. He was sleeping on the bed, and he wasn't supposed to be woken up. But there is some good news, too. It was a very small change, but his brainwaves have improved just a little in the past year. Human bodies are strong. The same can be said about their brains. There have been cases of people who received fatal injuries to the brain, yet recovered completely. Satoshi-kun is trying very hard to come back. He's continuing to fight. I won't give up either. I'm doing my best to bring Satoshi-kun back to our side. And I will bring Satoshi-kun back to Hinamizawa. The brain is what moves people. But the brain is only a part of the body. If something happens to the brain, the person will end up changing. That change hurts the person himself, as well as the people around him. And hurting others hurts that person even more. Irie recalled his parents. The abnormal change in his father. His mother was not able to understand that it was caused by a brain disorder. That was enough. That was sad enough. That was the reason why Irie became a neurologist. Right now, there was a young boy before him. And a young girl. Before him was a fragment of the sadness from that day. A fragment of that day's regret. After his father's death, Irie learned that he was misunderstood, and that it was due to a brain disorder. But it was all too late by then. He regretted not getting into the study of brains 5 years earlier, but it was too late. But now he had studied and experienced so much. He had achieved things and he had confidence. But he still had regrets about that day. Irie holds his fist tightly and spoke without hiding his tears. I promise. I bet my life on it. I will bring Satoshi-kun back to Hinamizawa. I promise you. Satoshi-kun is trying to come back. If we reach out to each other, it'll happen. Shion-san, please trust me and wait. I promise you. I will bring him back to Hinamizawa. Irie vowed this from the bottom of his heart, and he realized something. Irie realized that everything he had done was in preparation for this day. The two people in front of him weren't his parents. But he was going to rid himself of his regrets and devote himself to that promise. Really? Are you sure? Is Satoshi-kun coming back? Really? Yes, he is. I bet my life on it. He is coming back to Hinamizawa. So, Shion-san, please wait until that day, and we'll welcome him back together. Do you think you can wait until that day comes? Can you keep this a secret from Satoko-chan? Yes. If Satoshi-kun is coming back, I'll do anything. I'll endure anything. Please, look over there. Huh? It's her brother, though? I know! Like, is knowing that her brother is alive going to aggravate her symptoms? I think not. There was something in the corner of that dark room. It was the giant teddy bear that Satoshi had bought that day. He worked so hard and saved a lot of money to buy that for Satoko-chan's birthday. Can you imagine Satoshi-kun leaving without giving it to Satoko-chan? No, you can't, can you? Satoshi-kun will come back to you, and Satoko-chan with that teddy bear. Please, just wait until that day comes. Can I come visit him, though? Of course. Can I sit next to him and read a book to him? And Absolutely. I'm sure he'd like that too. Oh. Shion started to cry again. Akasaka came in with Tomitake, but he couldn't say anything to her. I'm glad you're safe. Once you call the Bloodhounds, everything will be okay. Well, it won't be that easy. That gunfight earlier destroyed the radio equipment in the security room. The mountain dogs must have cut all the communications leading out of the village, so the only way to get in touch with Tokyo would be to leave. If that's the case, we'll have to break through in a car. Mion-san and the others are doing a great job of gaining some time for us. But they will be cornered eventually. We have to take Tomitake-san out of the village so we can call the Bloodhounds. We have a problem. If they've already cut the phone lines, they must have closed the road to town too. They're also supposed to carry one high-explosive anti-tank weapon in case a vehicle tries to break through. RPG-7, huh? They aren't expecting a tank, so I guess they'll be using high explosives. Even though they don't hit us directly, it might flip the car. They're not that easy to deal with. But unless we use the highway, it would take too much time. We can't take any detours. They're all doing great, but I don't think they'll last until sunset. We have to hurry. We don't have any time to waste, huh? We've got to take Mr. Tomitake to Okinomiya immediately. Coach, head to a safe place with Satoshi-kun. Let's get out of here quickly. It's only a matter of time before they show up. Shion's eyes were swollen from crying, but she had calmed down. Satoshi's safety depended on their victory. They had to win for his sake, too. Although this is a very sad situation, Satoshi was alive, and he would be back someday. Shion understood that, but yet more tears poured from her eyes. Sis, everyone, thank you. We've succeeded over here. She looks bald without the hat in this uniform. Is that just me? Takano didn't have enough stamina to walk around in the mountains. She was running out of breath, but even so, she continued to scream at the mountain dogs on the radio. She wasn't using an intercom like the mountain dogs were. Instead, she was using the communication unit on the back of one of the dogs, so we constantly had to listen to her yelling. Dang it! Everyone is so useless! How could they call themselves a special unit? Whatever happened to the famous mountain dogs, huh? Takano bit her lower lip and squeezed her left arm with her nails. Her arms had nail marks all over them. She was holding her grandfather's research scrapbook in her left hand. Even Takano didn't know why she was holding it. Maybe she grabbed it unconsciously because she wanted her grandfather to comfort her. The mountain dogs had already suffered devastating damage. They had to walk around in an area they weren't familiar with, and they wasted their energy on the multitude of traps that had been set. Although they were as tough as can be, they were getting exhausted. Crap. Does the Major even know any commands other than attack? Nightingale 1 to Nightingale 13. Watch out. Your left wing is down. You're next. You've got to be kidding me! Why me, dang it? He panicked. The same thing kept happening. His team members had been going down one at a time, starting from the left flank, and he was next. Did that mean the enemy was coming from his 9 o'clock? No, those demons didn't think normally. On this mountain, being aware of 360 degrees around yourself wasn't enough. Even being cautious of the ground below your feet and the sky above your head wasn't enough. Where are they coming from? Those bastards. Come here! Come here! Come at me! Nightingale 13 held his taser in front of them as he looked around timidly. In front of him. This taser could have been a powerful weapon, but it was far more effectively used indoors. On this mountain, it was almost worthless. Nightingale 13 heard a noise behind him from a bush. He thought he saw something, so he fired his taser. The electrodes flew out into the bush. Did he just imagine it? He felt a tug on his taser. The cord from the taser was stuck in the bush, and he couldn't rewind it. If it wasn't useless before, it had certainly become that way. Then he heard a noise behind him again, and this time he saw someone coming at him. But his weapon was useless. The newcomer growled at him. Oh, 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 oh! Wah! Darn you! That was all it took. Because he was so scared, he didn't think. That was exactly what Satoko expected. Satoko, who was up in the tree, dropped a metal bucket on his head. It landed perfectly. Wah! What the heck? What is this? The bucket had some drawings on it. What were they? They were drawings of strange, unknown creatures. They somehow resembled those strange characters you see on educational TV programs.
Aren't they just so cute? Take it home with you.
As Rena jumped out from another bush, she hit the bucket with a stick. No, maybe it should be described as a strike instead of a hit. The man flew backwards. Keiichi was ready for him. The stance he was in looked a bit like... That's it! He looked like a batter in a batter's box. He was on one foot. That was the legendary one-foot swing created by that one world-famous baseball player. Destructive force can't be measured from just one direction. It's a function of both speeds added together. Thank you for the hydrate and stretch kimono. Have a nice lurk. Both Keiichi's strike and the speed of his opponent created a truly amazing destructive force. Whoa! A home run bunt! With an exhilarating and magnificent sound, the mountain dog flew into the air in the opposite direction. Magnitude and direction. Vector! Then he rolled on the ground and stopped. There, Rika awaited him. It was almost as though they calculated that he would end up there.
Poor thing, poor thing. Pat, pat, meep, meep.
Rika patted the bucket happily. This comforting moment for Nightingale 13 only lasted for a second. Mion shot her taser at his butt. Nightingale 13 jerked for a moment and then went limp. Another one down. Let's tie him up. Keiichi and Rena jumped on him and tied his hands behind his back with wire. Oh, that was great. What a team we are.
Oh, that was perfect. We shall do combination 7 next.
Oh, I want to do 5 again.
Oh, you liked that one, did you? You might have a hidden talent for using traps, Hanyu-san.
Hanyu and Satoko high-fived, while Keiichi and Rena tied Nightingale 13 up. Rika tried to sense something in the air.
Meep, meep, meep. Bing. I feel something coming towards us from that direction. Meep, meep, meep. There are 2, and they're both very scared. Meep, ba.
Rika reported to Mion. She was a bit like a radar. Mion didn't even care about the guy they had just knocked out. She was already trying to figure out their next move while looking at Satoko's map and using the info Rika gave her. Everyone eagerly awaited Mion's next order. Why are you looking at me that way? You haven't had enough fun yet? Yeah, I guess we're just getting warmed up, huh? Shall we continue? Let's get them all. Yeah! Mion was a great leader. She had both leadership skills and tactical ability. But more than anything else, she was great at encouraging people's spirits. There are no cowardly soldiers under a brave general, and brave soldiers fight like a million men under Mion's command. Nobody could stop Mion and her club members. Both Mion and Okonogi's original estimates were too low. Now, Okonogi was thinking something else. Before they started this siege, he likened one of them to a well-trained platoon. But that didn't fit anymore. They were on par with an elite armored division. Foot soldiers couldn't beat an armored division. What Okonogi had was just a company. Where was their air support, or a bombardment from a warship, or an artillery base? Okonogi needed someone to pump the mountain full of holes. If he couldn't have that, he needed a submarine to fire a nuclear weapon. If he couldn't have that, he wanted to retreat. Okonogi no longer doubted it. The enemy commander was a genius. Under a mighty commander, all soldiers become heroes. He wanted to see the face of the commander, or at least he wanted to know their name. But then, Okonogi remembered the demons used to live in Hinamizawa. He also realized the commander had to be a demon. Nightingale 13 is down! Phoenix 4 is down! This is Skylark 10! I can hear the voices of children! I'm surrounded! Help! Help me! Skylark 10, fall back! Fall back! To where? Ah! This is Phoenix 9. I found R. I'm following her. I need assistance. Phoenix 9, where are you? I don't know where you are. Give me your current location. There's a fog. It's cold. Is this a riverbank? Phoenix 9, there are no rivers anywhere near us. calm down. Where are you? What? I can see my dead sister on the other side of the river. Sis! Phoenix 9! Phoenix 9! Answer me! The fog has taken Phoenix 9, for real. Phoenix 9 is down! This is impossible. They must be the demons of this mountain. I know. They're all being demoned away. None of us are making it out of here alive tonight. Stop saying things like that. All unit leaders, conduct a roll call and give your members some encouragement. Our enemies aren't demons. They're just a bunch of kids. Show them what we've got. I hear that! Whose intercom is it coming from? Not mine. It's not coming from mine! A bear! Wah! This is Phoenix 3. Are there wild bears here? That wasn't in the briefing. Phoenix 1, let's fall back! Give us approval to use firearms! Don't be stupid. There are no wild bears around here. It's just them. Don't let them fool you. You foolish humans. Know your sins for stepping onto the sacred ground. Be grateful to me, for I am giving you a chance to atone. Dang it. She has one of our intercoms. Don't let the enemy fool you. You fearless humans. If you can only learn by making mistakes, then I shall teach you. This is Nightingale 1! Where is everyone? Where did you all go? Come in! Come in! I see a helpless bird getting lost in a forbidden forest. Do you want to know that badly? Do you want to know about the world of demons? Say goodbye to the world of humans. Curse your foolishness for not listening to my warning. Gah! Who was that? Nightingale, roll call. Gah! 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 One more down. Who was it? By the way, HQ, I have someone on my left. Right? I'm not alone, am I? Do you want to hear more painful voices? Gah! What was that? What made that sound? I've seen someone jump in front of a train before. It made the exact same sound. That's the sound of a human body being crushed. No! I don't want to die like that. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Please, God of the mountain, please stop. I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because I get paid for it. Nightingale 1 to base. This isn't working. Too many unit members are dropping out, and it's almost impossible to get them to fight anymore. We can't maintain the battle line. We're just going to lose more men. Calm down, Nightingale 1. The rest of our soldiers are all amateurs in the field. Capitalism got him. It's so true. You graduated from that hell. So what are you doing getting shook up? Calm down and set an example. Base, there's no response from Nightingale 1. I can't believe it, but he's down. This is impossible. They are demons. No. Dang it. Our enemy's even using psychological warfare. Those darn punks are winning against a professional unconventional warfare unit. Radios are usually helpful communication tools. Hi, Lady Solarina, how are you? But in this case, they backfired. The club members took an intercom from a mountain dog they knocked out and used it to corner the other members psychologically. It worked even more effectively because they were in enemy territory and were unfamiliar with the terrain. Thank you! I hope you have an amazing day too. The best solution would be to make everyone stop using the intercom, but that would give the enemy more chances to attack them individually. Okonogi was growing fearful of the club members, as he still hadn't grasped their true identities. However, Takano still hadn't recognized how serious the situation was. She kept yelling at the mountain dogs to get their act together. No way, it's like the Revolutionary War. This is crazy. I love how Takano is doing more harm than good too, because she's also just yelling into the radio. Okonogi could tell she was exactly the type of commander who only commanded to attack and let her men die. But Takano's reckless orders were working in a way. Although the club members were winning, their area of operation was getting smaller. The club members were trying to lure their enemies to one trap area after another. In other words, they were defeating the mountain dogs by allowing them to come into their territory. The mountain dogs were about to be annihilated, but the curtains were closing on the club members' theater too. Okonogi realized his enemies were trying to finish this battle in a hurry. If the mountain dogs fell back, everything they'd done would be for nothing. He didn't want to, but he had to follow the princess's order. Okonogi figured he was finally about to get his enemies. Hanyu and Keiichi continued to act over the commandeered radio.
Oh, that was great! Hanyu-chan, you sounded like a real god!
You really were awesome, Hanyu. I never thought a normal person could sound like that.
That's because she is a god. Nippa.
Oh. But Keiichi was great too. His scream was incredible, like someone was strangling a chicken.
Oh, that was easy for Keiichi-san, no? In our club, he's also known as the Magician of Words.
Is a scream words? As long as my opponent is a human being with ears, I can control him.
You should become a voice actor. I bet you'd be famous. Nippa.
Can you hear me? I am Takano, Major Takano. I'm your boss's boss. Listen well, there is no god or demon, and if there is, then you can still fight. Drag God down from its pedestal. Skylark and Nightingale, join up and reorganize your forces. Phoenix, you join the remainder of Heron. The enemies are near the top of the mountain. Their base is probably somewhere by the Forestry Service's storage shed. They're at the top, so of course they can see our movements. They'll be trying to ambush you. Even if you have to stab each other, make sure you take them out. Major, let us arm ourselves. We need more than tasers. Absolutely not. We've finally surrounded them. If we fall back, they'll escape. We almost have our hands around their necks. We just have to squeeze them. At the same time, Okonogi received another radio call. Using that line meant his caller didn't want Takano to hear the conversation. Okonogi understood the meaning of that, so he walked away from Takano and answered quietly. Command vehicle to Phoenix 1. There's been an emergency. The research area of the clinic has been attacked. Oh, that's not Okonogi. We received the intruder alarm from the entrance area, but it was turned off. But whoever turned it off didn't follow the false alarm procedure. We've been trying to confirm the situation, but there's been no response as of yet. All the security unit members in the basement have gone quiet. Okonogi understood everything. He'd been fooled. He suspected a diversion, but he'd never ever thought that the heavily armed security unit of the Mountain Dogs could be bested. If the enemies were soldiers in camouflage, then he wouldn't have been fooled. He underestimated them because he thought they were kids. But now he really understood. He understood the reason why no adults had shown up in this battle on the mountain. I get it. Did you let Cuckoo in Tokyo know? Not yet. Would you like me to? Do it now. Tomitake has escaped. We've closed the escape route, but I guess that's no use. They defeated even the armed security unit within seconds. I don't think one RPG could stop them. Should we send reinforcements to the blockade team? Boom! If we had any extra men, the princess would have already sent them in. Actually, you're the only one who isn't doing anything. Get in touch with the blockade team. Tell them to be prepared for a vehicle trying to break through the roadblock. Roger. Roger, we'll be ready. Everyone listen up. I just found out that the clinic has been attacked and the hostage has escaped. The enemy's expected to break through the blockade. Get the RPG ready. We'll fire at them at once. We have permission to shoot. One of the Mountain Dogs nodded and opened a narrow case in the trunk of the van. In that case was a powerful anti-tank weapon, designated RPG-7. This was a weapon that many said changed the history of modern warfare. After all, this terrifying weapon had a firing range over several hundred meters, and it was capable of burying most tanks in existence. The dawn of this weapon meant that we were now in an age where a lone foot soldier possessed the firepower to destroy a tank. It was capable of reshaping the history of warfare. That was the RPG-7. Each of the other 4 members had an MP5, the weapon used to destroy the tire on Irie's car. There was no question that the blockade team was well armed. They waited in the van until the enemy vehicle showed up. Once they saw a suspicious vehicle, they were planning to stop it by moving into the middle of the road. They intended to destroy that vehicle by firing all at once. But what if it's just like a car, like a random car? What if they get the wrong guy? They all watched very carefully for suspicious vehicles coming from Hinamizawa. This was the only road that connected Hinamizawa to Okinomiya. It would take more than half a day to get there if they used a different route. Their blockade was where the gravel road changed to a paved road. It was what people called the village border, and was their last chance to stop anyone from leaving. Hinamizawa was at a higher elevation from that point, so the vehicle would be coming downhill. They were probably expecting a barricade, as well as heavy resistance from the mountain dogs. If they wanted to pass this point, the only way would be by force. Civilian down, literally. They could start a gunfight, but that would take too much time. Since they didn't want to waste any, they should avoid unnecessary conflict. Grumble. Someone's stomach growled, but nobody made fun of it. That was understandable. Since all of the members were getting ready for a battle, nobody even wanted to laugh. They looked at the clock. It was almost noon. Of course they'd be getting hungry. At that time, they heard a noise coming from the direction of Hinamizawa. Obviously, the car was going very fast. Here they come! The van moved to the middle of the road and stopped there. Some of them hid behind the van, and some hid in the bushes on the side of the road. They pointed their guns at the suspicious vehicle coming towards them. The car must have been going very fast. But this was a straight road. No matter how fast it was going, it couldn't escape. That car happened to belong to Kasai. The shining black paint and the sound of the engine made it clear that it was a very nice car. Wait until the last possible second. We can only fire once. Make sure to get them in one shot. The RPG-7 fires unguided rockets. Therefore, hitting a quickly moving target is extremely difficult. In this case, however, their target was straight ahead. If the car tried to swerve suddenly, it would flip. If that was the case, it wasn't necessary to shoot directly at it. Besides, according to what Kasai said, its power can easily flip a car without a direct hit. Even if there was only one chance to fire, the mountain dogs were definitely in an advantageous position. Tomitake-san, a suspicious van is blocking the road. Please stay low. Careful, try to hit the nose of the van. I know, I've done this before. He's done this before? The mountain dogs aimed at the vehicle. It was coming right for them. Not yet. Not yet. Wait until it's within 100 meters. I know! Just range me. The mountain dogs in the bushes laid in wait, ready to fire. The rocket on the tip glinted eerily, like it was waiting for its prey. 200 meters. 150. Prepare to fire! The soldier put his finger on the trigger of the RPG-7. Whoa! Akasaka-san, prepare for impact! 100 meters. Fire! What happened? Didn't the RPG-7 fire? That was when the one measuring the distance next to the shooter noticed something. The shooter's shoulder had been hit, and he was tumbling to the ground. Was there a sniper? I didn't hear anything, so it must have been from over 400 meters away. Who cares? Fire! 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 Only their regular guns could stop the car now. The other mountain dogs fired all at once. But immediately they realized something. The car had been hit by a hail of bullets at close range. Any normal car would have been on fire in short order. But there was nothing. This wasn't a normal car. Of course it isn't. That's the Sonozaki family's specially made bulletproof limousine. Kasai! The spotter picked up the RPG! Don't let him fire! Do you think I'm going to miss him at this distance? Imagine losing to kids for real. Shion and Kasai were far beyond that straight road. They were in the enemy's blind spot on the other side of the hill, on top of an abandoned car. Shion was on her knees, checking the mountain dog's movements with a pair of military-grade high-powered binoculars. Kasai was lying on top of the car with a sniper rifle in his hands. Shion figured this would be where the mountain dogs would place their ambush, so the only way for them to beat the dogs was to snipe at them. Both Shion and Kasai took sniping lessons in the US during the dam conflict. Kasai was now aiming at the man who picked up the RPG and was trying to take position with it. Hurry up! Fire it! What? Again, the RPG wasn't fired and was down on the ground. The two who tried to shoot were both groaning and clutching at their wounds. They were both shot in the shoulder. The wounds wouldn't kill them, but they definitely couldn't fire that rocket. The car had arrived. The mountain dog screamed and dove out of its way. Akasaka must have been used to driving in this kind of situation. He hit the nose of the van just right and broke through the blockade. The van was hurled away and spun in a circle. After them! Let's go! Let's go! As the mountain dogs tried to get back in the van, Shion and Kasai shot at them. There's a delay between the impact and the sound of the gunshot. It's an extra long-distance snipe. He must be a veteran sniper. Also a veteran spotter. They must know exactly where we are. Their aim is just too precise. The scope on a sniper rifle is one specifically made for sniping. Therefore, its field of vision is so narrow that the sniper is unable to see their surroundings well. That's why it's always necessary to pair up with a spotter. A spotter uses powerful binoculars to probe the situation and communicate information to the sniper. Snipers can't do their job alone. Their potential is unleashed only when paired up with a spotter equally as skilled. They try to stand up and climb into the van, but the ultra-velocity rifle bullets pin them down. The bullets rip through the air, traveling faster than the speed of sound. The noise those bullets created was nothing like the sound from a normal gun. It almost sounded like the Grim Reaper himself swinging down his scythe. Furthermore, they could see the mountain dogs, but the dogs couldn't see them. Only those who actually had experience being sniped at could understand this fear. We can't even go near the van. Forget about us. Just go! Okay, we'll go after them. There was a driver and one mountain dog in the van. They had to leave, otherwise it would be too late. The driver made a snap judgment and slammed on the gas pedal. Are they after us? Yeah, they're after us. Boy, he drives well. He's catching up in that van. That's worrying. Please fend them off. Yeah, I'll leave it to you. Tomitake opened a window near one of the back seats and leaned out. Hot air blew into the car. Though the car was jolting up and down on the bumpy road, he checked the mechanism of his gun calmly. He did it naturally, as though examining his favorite camera. The gun had been taken from one of the security guards in the basement. One of the dogs in the van held the same gun in his hands. Their weapons were evenly matched. The road was no longer straight. It curved like a snake. There were some bumps and sharp curves which made things in the car fly all over. A gunfight in this situation would be extremely difficult. Tomitake realized he'd run empty in no time if he wasted bullets, so instead of firing recklessly, he carefully waited for the right distance. And in doing so, tried to convince his enemy that they were still out of range to make them close the gap. On the other hand, the mountain dog couldn't take it any longer. He fired, wasting his bullets on the bumpy road. Some of those bullets hit the body of Kasai's car, making a nasty metallic noise. Tomitake-san, it's not safe to lean out like that. Don't worry, a shooter that clumsy can't hit me. If he was my student, he would have to start all over. In a situation like this, it's safer to wait and see for a moment. You predict their movements, and barrage that prediction with bullets. Don't try to shoot the target. Try to let the bullet find it. Just like this. Tomitake fired for the first time after cautiously waiting for the perfect moment. Those who understood guns would be fascinated with his shooting form. His stance was so firm he didn't lose control, even in the violent burst of shots. Yet there was no unnecessary tension, just enough slack. Despite being in such an anomalous position as leaning out from a car, Tomitake was shooting very precisely. It was nothing like what the mountain dogs did earlier. He shot at just the right time, so his bullet went where it was supposed to go. It was hard to believe that they were using the same gun. Nasty metallic sounds etched themselves into the body of the van, which made the mountain dogs realize just how good Tomitake was. Crap! He's a crazy good shot! He isn't just some office worker in Tokyo! I heard once before. First Lieutenant Tomitake was transferred to the offices after an accident, but during his instructor years, he taught marksmanship for unconventional warfare units. Huh? What are you saying? Are you saying he's... Ah! Tomitake started to aim for the driver's seat to pressure them to give up. The mountain dogs could tell they were in a predicament. Tomitake was capable of hitting his targets easily even on such a bad road. Furthermore, they were in a bulletproof limousine, while the mountain dogs were in a regular van. The van, which, incidentally, was facing the limousine in pursuit. All his shots had just been warning ones. Unless the mountain dogs called off the chase, Tomitake would start shooting at them soon enough. They had no chance of winning. Phoenix 1 to pursuit vehicle. If the blockade was broken through, that's enough. Don't go too far. Tomitake's an expert sniper. Don't throw away your lives. What do we do? Can we let him go? Roger. This is the pursuit vehicle. Abandoning pursuit. We're falling back. Looks like they finally gave up. They're slowing down. Phew. Even after such a gunfight, you're still so calm. I bet you've gone through quite a bit, huh? It's all thanks to my training. Tomitake, having slid back into the car, raised his fist in victory. He was as easygoing as ever, even in a gunfight. Akasaka felt that he was finally getting to know Tomitake for the first time. It is your first time, bro. Anyway, I think we're gonna end here for today. Not log. Save. We'll stop Higurashi here for today, but we're gonna do some drawing.